Hey guys, welcome to Talking Assets, Atlanta. Of course, you have your co-host here, Jabril Porter.
And I'm Mrs. Key.
I'm Diamond.
And I'm Devon.
And today, we're going to be talking about goal setting for the new year.
And even for the new quarter, right? Of course, we wish we would have done this a lot sooner, it being, the first and second quarter of the year now. I still think it's an important subject, right? Because how many of us, have lost sight of our goals? Like at this point in the year, the goals that we set for our New Year's resolutions often fall beside us and behind us.
And you have to reset new goals.
Right.
Hey, just determining on what you're doing and how, again, the first quarter went.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is a better time than any, because we're here to remind you of the goals that you set at the top of the year, and reminding you to, like Diamond said, look forward to this next quarter with a new set of lens, renewed energy, renewed motivation.
Yes.
Because child, it's already been a year.
So first things first,
Yep.
How do you guys set a goal, and what instruments do you use when setting these goals?
So I personally like to set aside time first, right? To do some reflecting. I don't think we give ourselves enough credit or acknowledge how far we've come, because we're always setting goals and looking towards the future, right? And even I have to be reminded that, celebrating my wins and my successes is equally as important as setting goals for the future.
Exactly.
So once I've done that, I simply look to see where there's room for improvement. Not just career-wise or financial-wise, all areas of life. I want to make sure I'm setting goals for my relationships, my marriage, newly married. I want to be setting goals for travel. Okay.
Yeah, I need to add those.
Listen. So, I think I mentioned before, I'm an avid writer. I write everything down. So I turn those things into goals and write them in my journal. And I just review them regularly, and just affirm them to myself. Yeah.
Same.
What about you, Jabril?
No, same, exactly. I write things down. I didn't realize though I was setting time to think about what the goals are, what goals worked, what goals didn't work. So I'll write them down and, date at the top so you can keep up with it. You know what I mean? So when you got to review, when you got to go back to remember, what's going on, where you heading to, where you want to head to, you got to look back and see, hey, did I do that? Did I not do that? What is the case?
Right.
No, that's real good.
Yeah. So for me, I, like Key, I actually sit down and reflect, but I do it at the end of the year, right before the new year. And I just think to myself, okay, what do I want to do? What do I see myself doing within the new year? And I sit down and I have my journal and I write it down in my journal. And I don't have my journal with me,
And she keeps
but
it with her.
I usually keep it with me, and I go over it periodically to see, okay, hey, am I close to my goals? Because I make sure I have long-term goals and short-term goals. So I reevaluate them throughout the year periodically to make sure, hey, am I close to this goal? If I'm not close, then I will shift the finish line a little bit to make sure that, hey, yeah, it's still in sight. Yes, I'm still going to do it, but let me, move it a little bit.
And be realistic, right? Because I think we plan and we have our time frames for how things are supposed to happen, but as you know, things don't always go according to plan. And sometimes you do have to push that deadline out a little bit or, just make adjustments.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What about you, Devon?
Go ahead, what you say?
I'm sorry, but I was going to say, well, sometimes you just got to check yourself
Yeah.
to see where you lack at on that particular goal. And
You might have to add some more
you
discipline
can
in there.
tell who got disciplined by themselves. That was me.
Yeah. Listen, hey, you got to be real with yourself.
Yes, for
you
sure.
do.
What about you?
Y'all, I don't journal stuff. I think we talked about this before. I don't use vision boards. I tried the vision board stuff. It doesn't work for me. I'll hang it on my wall. I'll put a lamp in front of it and I'll walk by it. I'm just being real. You gotta be realistic.
Yeah,
you gotta
Be real with yourself.
exactly with yourself, like you
Yeah.
said, right? So what I do is I just do. I like to write too.
Okay.
I like to write. I'm an avid writer too. So I do, like I said, to-do lists, daily goals. Of course, I have an ending goal where I want to be at, where I see myself. But I know that I have to create daily goals for me on my to-do list.
Actionable
Something actionable.
goals,
Exactly.
yeah.
It has to be actionable. Because I know with me, I'm a more of like, I don't want to say fly by the wind person, but I can say tomorrow I'm leaving and then I'll just leave. So I don't set stuff in stone, but I also make sure I accomplish things to get to where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So.
No, I love that. I love that you are like, you know where you want to be in goal, but you are like flexible with like what that looks like the
Very
fullness
fluid.
of that coming,
Yeah.
you know, to manifest.
Because I don't know what tomorrow brings, so.
Yeah.
And tomorrow I might have a different goal.
Right. Like, hey,
I'm just being honest.
today you want to do this, tomorrow you're
exactly.
like, you know what?
I'm a person. My mind changes.
Right.
Tomorrow I might like one thing today, and then tomorrow I don't like it no more.
Yeah. Well, one thing I appreciate about Devon though is if he set his intentions on doing something, like his follow through is like impeccable. And I think, you know, if our audience can take away anything from just kind of how we're setting our goals, it's like, number one, write it down. Exactly. You know, whether it's long term, short term, or just an actionable to-do list, write down your goals and then take action on them, you know?
And stay disciplined on that.
Yeah.
Like, have to.
Writing is really strong. Like, you know what I mean? It's really powerful. It's almost like the tongue you speak. So you got to write things down. And it's also, it holds you accountable. You could go back to it and say, hey, I said this on that date. And did I do it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right.
I think that date thing that you said, like, that's a gem.
Yes.
You know, and whether you write your goals down or not, start time stamping these things because you'll look back and see like
That's
just
true.
how much progress you've made or not.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Because time be flying.
It do fly.
It does.
It flies.
These 4 months, close to 4 months, have really flown by.
Right.
Flown by.
Right. So speaking of time flying and us staying accountable to our goals, what does keep you guys committed to your goals? Like where you're not wavering from them, you don't quit on yourself, right? Or quit on the people who depend on you. Like what is your why behind what keeps you motivated and committed to, you know, the goals that you set?
Well, for
That
me,
was a loaded question.
It was. That's a lot. That's a lot of questions. I'm like, damn. I was like, damn.
I see it before my eyes. It was like, oh, we just got serious.
I was like, goddamn. I was like, sorry if y'all in the church. I'm sorry, gosh damn. But I'm like, man.
Well, I guess.
I want him to go first.
That one shocked him a little bit. Like,
he said, I'm not ready.
I'm not ready yet.
Go ahead,
I'm still processing.
Okay, so my why is I know how I want to build my business. I know eventually I want to be a top tier agent, like my girl Key here, you know, and I want to make sure that I actually expand as far as my other businesses as well. So that's the main thing. Of course, I want to, you know, propel in my business. Also, I have a son. I have a 10-year-old. So I want to make sure, hey, I'm able to make enough money to make sure, hey, I'm taking care of him as well. So he's definitely like a big motivator. So that's what, hey, I'm writing them goals down. I'm trying to stay disciplined. Every single day I make sure like, hey, is this working towards my end goal? No matter, you know, what it is that I've said, but I'm like, hey, is this moving me forward? Is this going to get me to where I need to go? So I'm either expanding my business, making more money, networking, or just doing other things to make sure that, hey, I'm good. I can take care of my son. And we go from
so
there.
keeping the end goal in mind and obviously your son is your priority.
Exactly.
I love that.
I'm like, mine is more around, I'm a person that would love changing the world, but I know it does, even though people say one person can make a change, we can't make a change unless everybody comes together as a collective to make a change.
Right.
So like my whole thing is that every time I would see like friends or whatever at the time, like I said, I used to be in the entertainment industry. And I used to have friends that would put on like one man plays and all this stuff. And they'd be like, oh, I want to travel. So I would, in my mind, I'd be like, okay, I want to help them produce their play. So I was like, it's me always trying to help other people out because I realized at the end of the day, if you don't create a solid community around you, you can't really go but so far because an individual can only go but so far, right?
That's absolutely
so.
Right.
But then I do have times where I got to realize too, Devon, this ain't going. You got to learn how to give it up too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can be like, yeah, this is what I want to do, but then at a certain point, you be like, if this is not going the way I want it to go, how long do you pull it, like drag it on, where you can't turn around and be like, all right, I need to shift, I need to pivot. So I don't know if that answers the question, but yeah, I think my bigger why is more about people around me. I don't have no children. I would love to have children, but at the age I'm going, I don't
Don't
want to chase no babies around at damn near 40.
Don't
So
do that.
I'm just being.
You a man,
I'm just
you
being.
can do that.
No, I can't.
This conversation
no, I
just
can't.
went left.
It did went left.
I think Devon is in like the therapist seat today. Okay, but what I got from what you said about your why, right, and how you like help and support other people and manifesting what it is they want to do is like, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go further, go together. Yeah. And I definitely think you're a team player. Like that's a lot of where too, those relationships that you have with other agents in this industry, in this business, it's brought about opportunities for you. Yeah, because you helping other people and in turn they help you as well.
Yep.
And that's how it should be. We should be looking out for each other. Yeah.
For sure.
What about you, Jabril?
My why is honestly so cliche and cheesy, but my why is literally, I don't have kids. I do want them by 35.
Okay, here we go with those dates,
The
timelines.
By
numbers.
35, that means I need to set the first surrogate by 34.
He's taking applications.
I am. I truly am. I'm desperate. So, but no, I want a family, and I also want to be able to provide for my family. I want 3 kids. It's $80,000 a piece per surrogate, just to let y'all know. So I need the funds to do that. So my why is to make money, be financially stable, also create that freedom that I want. Yeah. And also the end goal is to have that family, have those kids, and just have that relationship that I want. Build my legacy, leave a legacy. Yeah. And I think that's very important in life, is to reproduce. Honestly, as a gay male, I still feel like that is very important. Yeah. And that's my why.
I love it. Okay, my man is setting.
Now we all got
it out in the atmosphere.
This whole life stuff going.
He needs a surrogate by 34. This is how much it costs. Okay, so for me, I'm the oldest of my mom's kids on my dad's side as well, and I have so many cousins, like my age and younger ones too. And I've just always felt like a responsibility to be an example and set an example for this next generation that's coming up, right? I think even as adults, like we're new in our careers, we're seeking out mentorship, people to help guide us and direct us, in the direction we want to go. Right. And I just feel like we need to be doing that, not just in our own families, but in our communities, for the youth, right? So I just think that's so important. Obviously, I want to leave a legacy for my future children as well, and be financially free. Yes. But I just want to change the trajectory of, even just my own personal bloodline, and set a new standard for us, what I'm saying, in terms of even just the success the goals that we have for ourselves. Like, I feel like there's this ceiling that we put on ourselves because of where we've come from or how we've come up, right? And I don't want that to be the case for this next generation. So I would say like family, legacy, and communities, those are my whys. Yeah.
That's awesome. So we're talking about goals. Do you guys mind sharing at least one of your goals with everybody, with the audience, with the world?
I'm gonna say this. We're in, like I said, in the first quarter, beginning of second quarter, and I had a goal this quarter that I did not meet. Okay. But unlike, you hear many people say, oh, I had stuff on the vision board, it didn't happen, so that didn't work. Oh, I will switch that date out, okay, and put the vision board back up. My goals don't change. My plans might, but my goals don't. Exactly. So it was my goal and intention to close 6 real estate sales transactions in quarter one. It did not happen. I did have a closing, but not enough closing. So that's my goal for next quarter. I want to close 6 real estate sales transactions.
Well, you'll get there. Congratulations on the one that you've gotten.
Exactly.
Look, cheers.
Look, that's just say, give yourself some credit, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm still learning that.
Shoot, it's a journey.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So for me, I guess like 2 basic goals that I have. I need to get back on my fitness program. So that's one of my biggest goals because, hey,
girl, you look good.
I know I look good.
I gotta get back on.
Okay.
I'll be seeing those pictures on Instagram.
Yeah.
Look, don't. But no, like I really want to get back to where I'm comfortable. So yeah, I look good, but I feel like, hey, I could look better.
And it's not just a physical, like aesthetic journey. Sometimes it's even mental.
Right,
yeah.
It's mental.
It is.
And then one of my second goals is actually rebranding myself because hey, I know I've gotten tired. I've been burnt out a little bit. So I want to rebrand and you know, just show the world, hey, I'm back doing real estate full time. Also with my consulting business, I want to make sure that that's put out there as well. So I can get, you know, more clients as far as with that too. So both of my business can be working for me while I'm working for myself.
That's how it's gotta be. Have your business work for you while you're sleeping. That's the best
Facts.
business.
That's what I'm trying to do.
That passive income.
What about you, D?
So my goal, I wanted to try to close a transaction every month, so it didn't happen.
Hey,
but I'm like, I'm like, but I had, you know, I did have clients that it didn't work out, and I have another client that's currently dragging their feet. But you know, it is what it is. I get it. It's the real estate market. You know, that's how real estate is. So it's that, and then also to work on like just personal relationships, as far as because I know how I am as a person, and I know how they say as you get older, you create a stubbornness behind certain things. And I know I'm not that old, but as you go through life, and you it's different things that put different things in place that make you, you know, like, so I'm a person, for me personally, I know we're going on a tangent real quick, but I'm a person where it's like, when I step into space, if I don't like you, I don't like you. And I don't get to know you. So I'm trying to open myself up where I get to know a person because I will literally be like, I don't like you. And I don't know if it's just because of me being able to travel the world, and I know that there's so much out there, so I don't have to make a relationship with said person next to me.
Right.
But I'm trying to be better at that as far as like creating relationships with people. And then of course, you know, with my family, of course, too. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
I love
that's
that.
Really good.
I love that. I love that you recognize that that's something that you do. You know, whether you call it or deem it bad or good, it's just something that you want to change, right? But you're aware of it.
Exactly.
I call it using more like discernment. You use
that.
Like, hey,
I'm
not sure of this person, so I'm just gonna, you know, cut it off right there.
And I have great intuition. I know a lot of women have great intuition, but I have wonderful intuition.
Good.
I say the same thing. Like something just don't feel right.
Look, I'm big on that. Like,
just don't feel right. I'm sorry.
The energy is off. Okay. What about you?
So mine is to have a consistency when it comes to cash flow.
Okay.
I'm trying to, I think because I just did a pre-approval. So I realized a lot with my own finances in a way, like, oh, my money is very funny. It's up and down.
Yeah.
I would like to kind of, you know, keep a consistency of a certain amount in my account a month. You know, so I'm really just stuck on that right now.
Your money goals.
Yeah, my money goals. Yeah. Money driven right now.
So being more consistent. Okay.
Yeah, with the cash flow coming in. Making sure I keep up with things in advance because you got to go with the market nowadays. And, you know, I have 2-3 different businesses. So I'm trying to keep up with trends at this point and making sure I'm thinking ahead of the game, thinking 6 months in advance because at the end of the day, these bills don't stop. They come every 30 days. And one thing I know, I've said it before, but they don't care if you have cancer. They don't care if you're depressed. They don't care about any of that. They want to get paid. So that's one thing, you know, I want to definitely make sure I get consistent with is the cash flow.
Yeah. I love that. I love all of our goals. And I'm sure we could all agree that we have some of the same or similar goals as well, right? I wish we had more time, y'all. This was so good. I know we wanted to get into some other topics as well, but we just really want to encourage y'all and challenge y'all, right? To start thinking about your goals again. You know, even though it is April, right? When you're probably looking at this, we're probably 4 and 3 months into 2024. Do not wait until 2025 to start goal setting again.
Absolutely not.
Revisit the goals that you set at the top of this year. And if you are making new goals, write your goals down, you know.
For sure.
Timestamp them.
Yes, please.
If you have to move a goal, as far as the timeline or the date of that, do that. Make it work for you.
And that is okay.
Don't just shut it down because, hey, you didn't make that first timeline. Or, you know, that first, you know, move it.
Yeah.
Make it work for you.
I'm here for that. So So we appreciate y'all tuning in. Please share in the comment section what your goals are, be it for this new year or just for later down the line in the future. We would love to hear it, hold you accountable to it. Make sure you tune in to our audio version of this podcast as well on
Amazon Music and Spotify.
Amazon Music and Spotify.
Also, if you can, please like and subscribe. We would appreciate it.
Look, hit the subscribe button. Follow us on all social media platforms. We are Talking Assets ATL. That's on Instagram, TikTok, and also Facebook. So make sure you follow us and engage with us. Whatever you want to see as far as next, let us know. We got you.
There you guys have it. You have a good one.